Good Friday evening, gang. And you guys have been out crazy already. Tier 3 gifted sub from Sean Paxlayer to Breeze. As one of several that we've done. Breeze, that'll do good for your player, Mr. Conway. Because you get half of that reward. Twins gifting a sub over to Hero Driver. Chad McGurk, 10 tier 2 subs. My goodness, Mr. McGurk. Oh, wait, he told me not to call him. Tony Bernazard was in the file technically before, if I remember correctly. I see the question about all CCPs have been technically drafted during the 2.0 era, which I define as when we started in 2022. Players put in the file prior. They were where they were. Night 2 of the eMLB 2027 draft just about ready to get underway. Rounds 3 through 5 will be taking place here tonight. See, we were waiting for Steve. We can start now.
Let's go while we're young.
Thank goodness, Steve. We were waiting on you.
We're waiting.
Now we don't have to wait anymore. We can officially get started. Yay! Let's go. Night 2. Let's do it.
Welcome. Come in. Fresh victims for my ever-growing army of the undead.
Sir, you have to let go of the button.
Well, son of a bitch.
Welcome in, everybody. Commish LB welcoming you back to night 2 of the eMLB 2027 draft. Thank you for being here. Again, we hate that we had to take an extra day off. Normally, we don't do that when we're doing the draft. But we had choruses, we had karate tournaments, and we had another kid. Kokamish was checking out the new school that she'll be going to next fall. It's literally the building next door, but it's so big and she's intimidated by it. So, yeah. But here we are, ready to do night 2, rounds 3 through 5 of the eMLB draft. After that, we will finish the rest of the draft on Stats Plus. For those of you who don't know, I look better. Hey, Daffy, look that way.
You jackass.
That wasn't for anyone but Bill's boys. 35, maybe longer than that year relationship. Look, you're fuzzing up my screen now. Oh, we had fun. It is a family program, but sometimes your best friends just bring stuff out of you, you know, that's all. So trying to fix the camera because I got drunk on you. There we go. So again, Commish LB welcoming in night 2, round 3, getting ready in a second here of the eMLB 2027 draft. I am the Commish. My friends will call me LB, and my wife, well, if we go 5 hours tonight, my wife will call me 4-letter words. I will be shocked if we go more than 3. I will, because it's all based on our GMs. Oh, dear God. You guys need better material than to pick on my head. Daffy, tell him what I think.
Watch your language, you bud. We're on the air.
Yeah, that too. That too. All right, gang. All right. I think we can go find some new stuff. Can't we?
Who are you?
Daffy further telling you exactly where my thoughts are, you know?
Oh, you're a scream. got 5 o'clock shadow, and it's only 4:30.
All right, it is time to get this draft underway, shall we? So, usual commercials will take place. We got 45 minutes before our first one in. Draft ready to go. Again, if you haven't seen what rounds 1 and 2 look like, the draft board has been pinned. Thank you, Sadie, for doing that once more. We're ready to get to round 3. A couple of things of note here for round 3. We do have 4 teams who will not be making selections. I'll digress. 3 teams are not making selections due to free agent acquisitions. A 4th team is going to get a pick, but there is a rule on it. They technically lost this pick due to violations that were done in Winter League. This pick is going to still have to be filled because Out of the Park doesn't let you skip it, but it will be a very, very low-ranked player that will be put in as kind of a dummy pick for that selection. So round 3 is only going to technically have 28 picks that are going to be made in round 3 before we proceed to round 4. Round 4 will have 1 additional complimentary pick, comp pick, and then round 5 will have what will be for the rest of this. Now, GMs, you're going to benefit from your commission's stupidity. I kept saying this is going to be a 25-round draft. Somehow, some way, my settings got screwed up, and it's going to be 28 rounds. So, it's a 28-round draft. You will have the full ability to do rounds 6 through 28 afterwards on Stats Plus. For tonight, we will do the back half of our live portion of the show where we will introduce some of the more top talent here in this draft. Let's start with the Montreal Expos. They have already put their selection in. No, it is not who you see on the board, because the board was my fault. I did not turn the timer off until 2 picks were made. Those picks in round 3 are not accurate. I will now update the first selection of the Expos. Oops. All right. First pick for night number 2. Montreal's selection is coming, and let's go take a peek. That'll be in your head all weekend. Dan Bartling.
Hello there.
Hello there. Oh, what? Dan Bartling scared the Kitty Ninjas so much he just ran for it. Shady Boots, baby. Thank you for hitting the follow button. Dan Bartling from the Harrison Township of Pennsylvania plays his ball at Punxsutawney High School, which affectionately has him nicknamed Mr. Groundhog Day himself. Dan Bartling is a center fielder in this draft, but we really have him better projected to be a corner. Twins, thank you for the nice gift on welcoming Shady Boots, baby. Maybe the dogs planned that sounder attack. Maybe they did. So, Mr. Groundhog Day, probably better suited to be looked at as a corner outfielder here in this position. Kind of a thin guy, 6 feet tall, 155 pounds. Amazing bat speed, though. He is graded to have plus power as a major league veteran with pretty good offensive skills, decent speed. The question is how capable of a defender he is. Well, he could get by at the high school level, but in the majors, highly doubtful whether or not he would be a very solid center fielder in the major leagues unless he puts a lot of work for it. We'll see, but Dan Bartling is your first selection here of the 3rd round. The man who's affectionately nicknamed Mr. Groundhog Day. All right, he is officially in. That means Attica will be up to make the next pick. So, let me know if you're here. Just announce if you're here, so I'm keeping an eye. It's going to be hard for me to remember who said they're here tonight and who's not. Some people already have lists set up, some don't. So we'll play it by ear. I knew Attica was going to be here thanks to his post that he had done. I know Jamie said he would be here for a bit. Hopefully, if we go by quick enough, it won't be super late for you, Jamie. All right, so let's now go over to Attica's selection. I will update that on here. All right, with that, let's get the second selection here in the 2027 draft, round number 3. Got another community created player coming. This one, it's Breeze's player. It is Richard Conway Roncon. Just got a tier 3 sub, which means he's going to get a really nice boost. Congrats to him on that, and thank you. Thanks again, Sean Paxlayer, for doing that. Richard Conway is originally from Japan. He was born in Japan, raised American, graduating from Punahou High School in Honolulu, Hawaii here. Pretty nimble middle infielder, probably better on the right side of the diamond. Got some good speed, probably will be a pest on the base paths. Going to be a bit of a tough out. Could see him easily as a possible hit and run type specialist. Maybe one of those bottom third of the order pests. Conway looks like he has a real good shot here being drafted by the expansion Stags to really make an impact. He is a smaller player on the field, 5'6", but definitely has some power to him with 200 pounds. We'll figure he can definitely work that to his advantage over his career. Just 17 years old, will turn 18 next month. We'll get to see him in rookie time soon enough. Richard Conway, drafted by the Portland Stags. Breeze's player is selected. Welcome to the league officially. And with that, time for Oakland to make their selection. Mr. Will Moore, 3Sport Geek, has just DM'd me who he wants. Let me double check and make sure I read that properly for you. I did. Perfect. All right, we have our selection in for the Athletics. Let's go check it out. Athletics will select Zach Archbold. I believe it is Zach Archbold. Zach is a 21-year-old first baseman from Lansing, Michigan, now a junior over at Southern Illinois, where he hit 13 home runs and a .318 average for the Fighting Illini. I think that I got the right school. If I didn't, don't shoot me. I'm not a college guy. He plays average first base. Again, for his athleticism, he'll probably actually trend to be a above average defender over at third. Another guy who grades out with amazing power potential that will be needed in the Coliseum. It's actually going to be a pretty well-rounded first baseman type. And with his prowess and also the fact that he's a junior, probably not waiting as long as, say, Sergio Morales, of course, the top selection by the Athletics, to get some return on him. So, little bit of spreading it out, trying to bring some talent that can help out sooner, while also chasing talent that will give far more upside down the road. Zach Archbold has been selected here by the Athletics. Well, if you haven't, go ahead and put that in Stats Plus, please, and thank you. Yeah, there, 3Angelo. Yep, I saw you got that. I made a note to credit your account since I saw your name get the sub. So, of course, that means for you that you get... He gave a Tier 2 sub, which Tier 2 subs technically give a +3 boost to the gifter. The gifted gets half of that, so you're going to get a boost and a half to be able to improve Johnny Tsunami with that. Don't know if Will heard me or not, so, but I'm right there, so I'm just going to put Zach in and take care of it. And, you know what? I think if I don't do this, yep, all right. I've just resumed it. I took care of it for you. We're good to go. I think in doing that now, I think it's going to force the auto picks now. Let me make sure on that. Okay. Colorado's selection is in. It went off of a list. We have the player available. No worries. No worries. Thank you. We have the player ready. Let's go check out who the Rockies will select here with their 4th pick. Rockies will go in that deep shortstop pool in this particular draft, and they will go after the switch-hitting DJ Carey from Speedway, Indiana. Finished his high school season for the Culver Academies out of Indiana. .495 average, 10 home runs, 38 runs batted in. Very versatile offensive talent, not weak on either side of the ball. Going to be not the fastest guy on the planet, but he's also not the slowest. Don't know how that will translate into his major league talent. He had an unfortunate record of getting picked off twice in one game and 6 times in a season, being picked off at going to over at first. So a little bit of base running gaps from time to time from him, but still a useful player all around. Great arm. Why he plays short, might even be a better third baseman overall. DJ Carey from the Culver Academies, planning to go to Clemson if for any reason he doesn't find his way with the Colorado Rockies. Drafted 4th here in the 3rd round. Hey, Forrest, welcome in. Good to see you. It is draft night, or the second night of the draft taking place. That'll put the Arizona Diamondbacks into the draft position where they will pick. I'm double checking if Tim told me. I don't know if Tim is here or not. Pretty sure Tim's here. Cheers again, everybody. It is a beer night. I'm so sad. I found a cherry wheat. It had been knocked over. I was excited thinking I was going to enjoy cherry wheat tonight. No. That cherry wheat beer had a freshness date of January 2023. I opened it, took the smallest of sips. OJ IPA tonight, Lone Pine Brewery. Cheers, everybody. All right, Arizona has just selected their pick. Tim, go ahead, put that pick in Stats Plus, please, as we introduce the newest Diamondback. Another one from Indiana, first baseman Ollie Roberts, 21-year-old who's a junior over at Lemoyne University in Syracuse. 20 home runs this season for Roberts. Graded plus power, which will really help out the Diamondbacks. I would think they've had some struggles with who their first baseman could be. Not the best defender, but again, in most instances, when you've got a guy you're focused on first base, adequate will do just fine, and the offensive talents cannot be ignored. Known to have a pretty good eye, struck out just 31 times in 217 plate appearances, and walked 20 of those times as well, so we got to project Roberts has the ability to have a high on-base percentage as well as a probably solid slugging percentage. Looks like a pretty solid pick here in the round number 3 here for Mr. Lowry. and the Diamondbacks. That'll put the Toronto Blue Jays into the seat already. See that Harris has whispered me. I see Tim did his work. Thank you, sir. Appreciate that. Dadgum. Dadgum. Watch too much Mater with the kids. All right, Eddie. Sorry, wrong. Had Eddie on the brain from his dadgum. Harris, go ahead and put your selection in. Time to introduce the newest Blue Jay. Blue Jays will select from Delray Beach, Florida, the 6'4" Leonardo Kingston. Planning to head over to Wichita State. Played his ball at Gulliver Preparatory School in Miami. Has absolute phenomenal power. Had a 1652 OPS in 24 games. Are you kidding me? Offensive weapon, big time. Big power, but he is no center fielder. I have seen some of his games. Oh, it's EBC and his squad. Hey guys, welcome in. Thank you for coming in on the raid. Appreciate that. We are just showing the 6th selection here of round number 3. One more time, Leonardo Kingston selected by the Jays. Highly doubt he's a center fielder, but who gives a crap? Phenomenal offensive talent, Leonardo Kingston. A little bit of an Italian in him as well. Meet some balls. Yes, EVC in the FKN indeed. Thank you for coming on in and sending the gang over. Welcome to all of you here. It is Commish LB welcoming you in on round 2 of, or night 2, round number 3 of the eMLB 2027 draft. Kingston is aboard. We are now going on to the 7th pick of round number 3. That is belonging to Denbrew and the New York Mets. There is the link. The link has also been pinned for you to reference so you can see what you've missed here this evening. Mr. Denbrew, are you here? Oh. There he is. Wow. I had to really go down. Our Whisper sent me back to like 6 months ago. So I was like, why are you sending me pitch instructions? It's not game of the night. Oh wait, this is 6 months ago. Yeah, enjoy the drops, any drops that you're getting. And if you happen to be ripping packs today, if you get anything you really think's worth sharing, don't be shy. We like hearing about that stuff too. All right, Mets selection is in. Let's go meet the new Mets. Mets will select from West Islip High School in New York. They'll go with a local in Billy Hines, the 18-year-old. Mid-90s fastball, works a sinker combination in there. Known for a pretty sharp curveball and looked pretty impressive this high school year. 9-0, 0.68 ERA, 166 strikeouts and 92 innings of work. He's planning to go out west. Go west, young man. If you can't sign with the Mets, he's going to head off to Sacramento State as a backup plan here. But here he is, all signed aboard. Billy Hines, drafted by the Mets here in this round. I see the Marlins selection has been picked. Eddie, I'm assuming I'm going with what the list spat out. Because if you say different. All right, that works. It all adds up. Time to go look at the next selection from the Marlins here. This is pick number 8. Getting another community created player off the board, Johnny Mutton Chops, created by Odeon 420. Odeon won a copy of Out of the Park 24 here. He won a license key for that. And here he is now being drafted by the Marlins. Senior over at Vanderbilt University, was 9-3 this year, 2.61 ERA. Has some pretty solid movement on his cutter. Sinker works down well, can throw it in the upper 90s as well. Pretty good talent, and again, at all times, community created players can be a massive X factor in eMLB. Johnny Mutton Chops, community created player of Odeon 420. Drafted here by the Marlins. Time for the Reds, and Mr. Rollins has his pick in. He knows how this stuff works. All right, Reds selection is aboard. Let's go take a peek. Reds will go to Cuba and select 20-year-old Jose Barrero. Real life player getting a new life here in the 2.0 universe. 20-year-old Barrero, phenomenal second baseman, lightning quick speed, brings a little bit of everything. Exactly what you expect from a specialist out of Cuba. Just covers all the fundamentals really well. He's a real-life Red as well. Doesn't that just add additional to it? JR keeping him close. Yes, as always, if you are here and you want to make your pick on the fly, I'd really prefer you to whisper it over to me indeed, yes. So Barrero, not going far from his real-life roots. He's a member of the Cincinnati Reds. All right. So we're now at a spot I need to do just a small amount of work really quick. This is where we would have a selection by Cody for Pittsburgh. But again, just for quick point of reference, we don't want to harp on it. Pittsburgh was fined in the off-season for certain behavior and certain conduct conducted during the Winter League, which Cody has since apologized for, and we moved on. But the residual from that was that a third-round pick was going to be waived. Out of the Park does not permit you to skip a pick, so the way we're doing it, we're picking a stiff 20, potential 20 overall player in the third round as Pittsburgh. We are not giving it any recognition whatsoever. I am picking that player, and we're ready to move on. So yes, it will be an absolute, unless OOTP randomness goes through the roof, then it will be an expected dropped pick. But it was due to having to waive the pick, and that Out of the Park does not let me skip the pick. So there's still a body, but that's literally what it is. It's a body. All right, with that, it is, let me put that player in so you'll officially see which player we picked. It's Winton Toop, but again, we're not giving any real love to it because there's nothing to focus on for it. So now the Royals are ready, and the Royals, I've already whispered their selection. He'll get Cruz O'Neill, yes. The alter ego of O'Neill Cruz. Royal selection is in. Let's go take a peek. Royals will go on the infield and head to go get a junior from the Miami Hurricanes. It's Mike Barniak from Hialeah Gardens, Florida. Barniak, very solid third baseman, excellent arm, pretty good offensive talent. Doesn't grade to have big-time power over at third base, but he's going to be an adequate above-average hitter. Probably think of him as a number 6, number 7 type of hitter in a major league lineup here. Again, though, where the Royals are concerned, he could be someone that they could focus on, develop, and maybe be able to have him maybe be a really good complement to a Lucas Parker type player. Hit 308, 10 home runs, 49 runs batted in for the Hurricanes this past year. Now Mike Barniak has earned himself a 3rd round draft pick by the Kansas City Royals. Yep, you missed it, Odeon. Congratulations, you have been drafted. And we're now ready for the Yankees! Yankees are up. Mr. Hedges has his pick in. Minerva? That's not who you picked that you put on here. I'm changing it. None of that. I've changed it. He put a completely different player on there. Nowhere near the name of the person that he selected. So we ain't doing that. You ain't throwing me off like that. I can throw myself off just fine, thank you very much, especially when I've got an 8.1% alcohol beer. All right. Yankees have their selection. Let's go see what they got. It's going to be another junior from Miami, another Hurricane coming off the board, fellow corner mate to Mike Barniak. Kevin Adams, the switch hitter from Kingston, Tennessee, is being selected here by the Yankees overall. I believe he's a better right-handed hitter, so that will fare well with him hitting on the left side and trying to tinker with the short porch in right field. Excellent power, should hit for above average. Not the best with the gaps. Also, that's due to the fact he's not going to be the fastest guy on the planet. If he is a fielder, because it's one of those questions, is Adams a liability on the field and better as a DH? Or can you season him up enough to make him an adequate enough defender that you're not fearful having him out there? But Kevin Adams, 21-year-old, Kingston, Tennessee. Oh, what are you saying? Yeah, this is Josh's pick. I was going to say, what's the confusion? Don't throw me off. Like I told you, I throw myself off just fine. All right. Yankees selection is in. Kevin Adams, another Floridian, picked up right away. Mr. Hunter, already on top of things as the Tigers will come up next here. All right, Steve, I am ready. Go ahead, put that in Stats Plus if you like. Let's introduce the newest Tiger. Tigers go after real-life player Ricky Vanasco, the 18-year-old from Williston, North Dakota. Played his ball at, well, it should be Williston, North Dakota as well, but it says Florida. That's a gap in the system. Whoops, missed it. Planning to stay nearby at South Dakota State if he does not figure things out with the Tigers here. He was 4-0 in an injury-shortened season, had him playing relief a fair amount, only got 6 starts on the year. Think that might be the reason that his talent and his potential on why he comes as a 3rd-round pick versus higher than this probably factored in. Throws upper 90s with the fastball, works a very solid curveball already, and it's expected that if he keeps developing it, it could be top shelf. Changeup is something he's starting to work on. Well, a lot of people like it so far, but, it's like climbing Everest. Anything is possible. The biggest knock on him is the injury seems to have potentially affected his ability to throw accurate. We'll see as he continues to work through the arm problems. Control was a bit of a concern with him, but honestly, when he only give up 1.7 walks per 9, I don't know. Maybe a scout's just being overly sensitive. Ricky Vanasco will be selected by the Tigers here. Twins are up. I know Jason Cleghorn is not here, but his pick is in. Let's introduce the third round pick for Minnesota. Twins will select left-handed hitting Kevin Carpenter from Montclair, Virginia. Moved to Maryland and finished off at Crisfield High School in Maryland. Hit an even .500 with 8 home runs in 24 games this year, 37 runs batted in. Has some pretty good range. Expect that he could play center field. Just has had some problems with his throwing, and that the arm isn't the strongest, so a not strong and not accurate arm can often be a risk. Not sure how that will translate in the majors. The tools are definitely there. A good offensive talent, probably an average home run hitter. Very likely that he could be not a top shelf leadoff type hitter, but you could see him as a leadoff guy. Could possibly even see him as a number 2 hitter with a speedier player in front of him and hitting runs in play. Kevin Carpenter selected here. Interesting pick, though, considering they drafted Xavier Odom before. Got to think Odom is still their center fielder of the future. All right, Washington Nationals. I think I saw a Pirate Whisper. Pirate had his pick in earlier, and that's probably because I didn't see. Probably because I didn't see that the list had already populated for Minnesota prior. So I just thought Pirate's very excited. He probably is. I think it's a pretty decent pick. Let's go check it out. Nationals will select 21-year-old lefty Nick Lodolo. Real-life player, playing and finishing off his junior year at TCU. He was 6-2 with a 2.33 ERA. Touted with excellent control. He's got a solid sinker that works downward pretty well. Throws a good curve and changeup combination as well. He'll get his fair share of strikeouts. Don't know if he's a strikeout per inning type of player, but Lodolo with good command and good control of the strike zone. Gotta think he is not too far away from seeing some major league time in a squad that I think Nationals are looking to retool the back half of that rotation in some way, shape, or form. Nick Lodolo being drafted here, 3rd round by the Washington Nationals. All right, the Rangers are up, and I've got their pick. Let's go introduce the newest Ranger. Rangers will get another player off the CCP board as Clyde Torkel. This is Stroker Ace's community credit player, and if you've never watched the movie Stroker Ace, then you won't get a lot of these references. I used to love this movie, probably mostly just because Lonnie Anderson was in it, and she was hot as... I won't say it. She was hot as...
Watch your language, bud. We're on the air.
She was hot as... Anyway. Clyde Torkel, who was played by Ned Beatty in that movie. He's a third baseman, 6'3", 245-pound right-hander from Waycross, Georgia. finishes senior year at Jonesboro High School, planning to head to UCLA out west. A witch's boob and a brass bra. So what? Huh? I'm like so confused. Torkel, community credit player of Stroker Ace, going to be average, slightly above average talent on the offensive side. Probably plays both positions in the corner, adequate to above. Probably going to be better suited as a first baseman at this point, but got to think again. We'll see further development out of Torkel, who gets drafted here by the Rangers with their selection. Jamie, go ahead, put that in on Stats Plus if you could, please, and thank you. All right, let me get Torkel on to Texas. Done. And it's now the White Sox. Jake, are you here, sir? Our newest GM. All right. You're up, sir. It is your selection. Hopefully you're ready. You got 5 minutes. Incoming. All right, pick is in. All right, selection is in from the White Sox. Let's go take a peek. They're going to select from Phoenix, Arizona, a senior from Tushka High School. Well, Tushka's in Oklahoma, but he's originally born in Phoenix. Heading back in that direction, he's committed to Arizona State. It is right-hander Jared Kell. Kell projects to be a bit of a workhorse guy. He's a guy who played very regular, extremely durable in his high school days. I think that'll translate very well. Good fastball, curveball, splitter combination. Mid-90s fastball. Again, great work ethic from Kell. Again, any particular pick you start to get to this point, it's a matter of whether or not it's a gamble or a reward. It's a solid pick. This is a guy we will most likely see in the majors. You assume in his starter role. Nothing wrong with him coming aboard as a reliever too. I think he'll be very good at it if that is his worst case scenario. Jared Kell is there. And yeah, you did it perfectly. Nice work. That is Jake's first experience with Stats Plus. Thanks, that was hard. It only improves from there. Alrighty, that means we now have our next selection, and that goes to the Milwaukee Brewers, Mr. Hillman. I think Jason's here. Hey, Mithoki, I see your +3 boost. Congratulations. And thank you for cleaning up your house and getting rid of all your hairballs, because we just love collecting hairballs. See? Since you guys like to make fun of it. All right. I don't know if Jason's here, but as of this moment, I do not see a list. Let me check on the admin side picks. He has the smallest of lists. Twins are cashing, or excuse me, the Cubs. Twins is cashing in for the Cubs, $3 million. All right, I see a list. I'm going to enable auto. Okay, I got it. All right, we are good and ready to go. Let's introduce our next selection for the Milwaukee Brewers. Brewers will select a Canadian from Windsor, Ontario. It's Braden Oak. He's a 6'4", 205-pound right-handed catcher, committing to Guelph if he does not sign on the dotted line. Oak is considered to be a great offensive-minded catcher. Couple have had him touted as Piazza. I ain't buying it at all. I am not buying it. Has some experience at first and third base as well, but has a current trend of, you look at it, he had over 134 plate appearances. He only struck out 7 times, but he only also walked 10 times as well. So his OBP might not be as high as you think. Probably still will hit for high average. Braden Oak, drafted here by the Brewers in the 3rd round. That pick is in. I see the Rays have their pick ready to go. We have about 4 minutes left before we take our first commercial break. Rays selection is ready. Let's go check it out. They will select a senior at Arizona State. He's a community-created player of Phoenix. From Phoenix, Arizona, Lake Phoenix himself. .299 average to finish out his year with the Sun Devils. 14 homers, 48 runs batted in. Projected to be a respectable, more role-playing type of player. Unless, of course, he pans out and blossoms further. But he will be a good, adequate outfielder with some good range. He will not hurt you. He could be a regular, but he will be a heck of a solid 4th outfielder, worst case scenario, with at least average talent offensively. That is Lake Phoenix, community credit player of Phoenix, drafted by the Tampa Rays. Red Sox. Billy did not turn on his list, so let me... See, he's got 63 players on the list, so let me enable the auto. Okay, I have their pick in. Selection ready. Let's go see who the Sox will acquire here in round number 3. The Venezuelan Jonathan Daza, real-life player. Of course, all players who aren't drafted in real life are from the IMG Academy and eMLB. He's a senior there. Hit 457 this past year with 22 runs batted in. Not known for power, but known for being able to hit for good contact. Smart runner on the base pass, even if he's not the fastest player out there, and plays pretty respectable defense, especially in the corner. I think he'll be a pretty adequate player. Not seeing him as a superstar in any way, shape, or form, but he'll be a serviceable player for sure. Definitely see him in the majors. Jonathan Daza, selected by the Red Sox. Mariners. Cardinals don't have a pick this round. Whoops. All right, we've got, I'm going to snooze once, so I'll give us an extra 5 minutes. We'll get 2 more picks in, and then we will take our first commercial break of the day, and then get 1 more hour of stuff out of the way. All right, Mariners have their pick. Let's go check it out. Mariners will go after the junior. He's 22 years old. Happy birthday, John Baldwin, as his birthday is literally the day of the draft here. Junior from Temple, 22-year-old, hit 328 this year, 15 homers and 53 RBI. Good contact hitter, great line drive potential, can get the extra bases normally. This particular year, he did get a little extra power as well. Known for a solid arm, probably will be best suited for right field, although, again, the concerns on his range and his accuracy might make him a question mark as a fielder overall. It will keep him being average to good versus good to great. John Baldwin, selected here, the big 6'5", right hand, throws left, bats right. John Baldwin, selected by the Mariners. All right, Dodgers are up. We might be able to sneak in a couple more picks. We'll see. There's Mr. Holland. Boo, Dodgers. Hey, Steve. Andrew James, my son. He just started karate, and he's 11. And he even scored a point against a brown belt as a high schooler. Anyway, just wanted to share. Let's go see who the Dodgers select. Dodgers will select real-life player. Real-life player TJ Anton. Junior college sophomore from Weatherford. The 20-year-old sinker ball specialist throws it hard, mid-upper 90s, works a curveball and slider in there. Absolute hard-to-hit stuff. 117 strikeouts and 77 1/3 innings of work. Made my choice easy, debating between Anton and the guy you're going to take. Well, there you go. TJ Anton, who I think is definitely got a future in a starting rotation. Looks like it's Chavez Ravine here for starters. He's been drafted by the Los Dodgeros. All right, we all caught up on the board here? No, we're not, because Mr. Hetz did not select his player. Hold on. All right. It was Baldwin. No, not that one. This one. I'll get it, Chris. Okay. Baltimore's pick is in. I see it. This will be our last pick before we will take a short commercial break. So please don't go far. When we do, let's introduce Baltimore's selection here in round 3. Orioles will go after Blake Sabol, 21-year-old at USC. He's a junior there this year. 295 average, 10 home runs, 37 runs batted in. Sabol even had a little bit of background due to an injury for a bit. Ended up playing as basically a third depth catcher, so has some experience there. Wouldn't consider him to be in any future plans to be a backstop out there, but solid corner outfielder, very respectable offensive tools, has power, has ability to hit for average. Blake Sabol may be a really good selection here for the Orioles here late 3rd round. All right. We will take a short break here now. We have a 24th pick coming up, so I think we've got 6 more picks this round. Then we'll go to round number 4, but we're going to get 3 minutes of commercials out of the way so that we can go for another full hour. You're watching 2027 eMLB Amateur Draft here live on a special eMLB Sportsnet edition of Fluffy Kitty Ninjas. We'll be right back. Please don't go anywhere. Back live with the 2027 eMLB Amateur Draft. We are winding down the end of round number 3 here as Commish LP comes back live. Philadelphia now on the board. San Francisco, Los Angeles Angels are waiting on deck. Philly's selection is in thanks to Brian, who's in Chile right now. But, excuse me, beer burps. He put a very elaborate list together to make sure we would be as prepared as possible for him. His selection is in. Let's go introduce the newest Philly here, round 3. Philly will go after community credit player Joshua Jay. He is a catcher out of Indianapolis, Indiana. Played his ball at Center Grove High School in Greenwood. Hit .435 this year. 3 homers, 34 runs batted in. Defensive-minded backstop starter. Has some decent speed from there. Known to be a respected all-around player for his time. Might be a little bit of a reach here at this particular point, but he really put a staple on his potential here this last year, which may be why you see him here in this pick. Josh Jay, community credit player of Joshua Jay 56, selected by the Philadelphia Phillies. All right. That will get us to our next selection, the Giants. Think Sean is working with his wife right now. He is. I have the pick. Let's go to the Giants selection. Another player from Phoenix, finishing up senior year at Arizona State, 22-year-old Jim Peterman. Great defensive-minded corner outfielder, fast, and more fast. 35 and 38 attempted stolen bases this past year. Got some good power potential. Didn't show it as well as expected in his senior year. Just 8 round trippers. Did have 5 triples, though, thanks to that speed. But again, good talent all around, not necessarily a 5-tool talent. Jim Peterman definitely has a long future potential if he pans out here with the Giants. Peterman's aboard. Angels selection is in since Tom is in a work meeting right now. Thank you for putting your list together. Attempted to steal 45 stolen bases, ended up stealing 75 because of how fast he was. Exactly, Duke. All right. Selection is in for the Angels. Let's go see who they got. They will select a 6'8", 23-year-old left-hander from Fort Worth, Texas. They just growing bigger in Texas, don't they? Senior from Wichita State, Mark Mudd. Upper 90s talent, just an imposing presence on that mound. Throws hard over the top, makes the curveball get some extra kick on it. Pretty good fastball, changeup as well. Slider is what needs to be worked on. A phenomenal move that will keep runners very honest over at first base. Mark Mudd may be not too far away from testing major league potential if he continues to pan out in the low-mid minors. Gotta think he may skip rookie ball just because he is already 23 years old, and also because he just finished off his senior year. Mark Mudd drafted by the Angels. That'll put Cleveland up with 3 selections left. Sadier's pick is in. Hold on. Hold on. Tom's saying his pick should have been different. You put the list together. Okay, he's fine with it. Just saying. All right. All right, I see your pick. Yeah, he is very advanced. He's probably, because also he took a year off as well, so he's a little older. He is a year older. That's probably it. All right, Cleveland's pick is in. That means 2 picks left this round. San Diego, then Houston. So let's introduce Cleveland's selection.
Yeah, liked over the top. Talk like Sylvester Stallone. Talk stupid.
Cleveland selects 23-year-old Devin Carlson. Played his final years out of the University of Portland in Portland, Oregon, of course. .316 average, 10 homers, 49 runs batted in. Fits that Sean Rodriguez mold, can do a little bit of everything all over the place. He's got some good stolen base potential as well.
Drink some motor oil. Talk stupid as well.
Where's the University of Portland? Yeah, I always wondered that as well too. I think that's in Portland too. But that one I think is in Maine though. Carlson projects to be one of your guys that can probably play most infield spots anywhere capably. Don't think I would call him the next Ben Zobrist, but I will say that, you know, it gives me kind of the Sean Rodriguez feels to it when Rodriguez was at his prime. 23-year-old who definitely is very already well talented. Might be one of the most capable players coming out of this draft. Could be the first to make the majors sooner. Look at his pitches. Oh, so he's a guy who can also pitch too. That's true. He does a little bit of everything, don't he? Doesn't have a lot of stuff. I'd say in blowouts, you throw Carlson in there so you save your bullpen. A la Brendan. So, Devin Carlson selected here by the Tribe. This guy's getting on the field. Well, considering that OSA has him rated already to probably play competently at AAA. Yeah, I'd say he's pretty good. He even cuts grass. All right. Go ahead, put that in, Steve. Let's introduce the Padres. Selection Astros will fish out round 3. Padres will go after outfielder Tony Ebanks. That is a real life player, ain't it? No, it ain't. No, it ain't. Nicknamed El Varón. Planning to go out to Vanderbilt because everybody goes to Vanderbilt in this goddamn file. Typical fast center fielder. Not the most patient guy. Don't know if I would peg him as your prototypical leadoff kind of guy these days. He'll be an adequate fielder, probably above average. Depends on the position that he plays. Also has some experience at first base as well. Hello there. And goodbye there, kitty. South 510, thank you for hitting the follow. I think we had Alex Hira and Jay Dalton hitting the follows earlier during commercial breaks. No, Eubanks was on, but Ebanks was not. He was on Newlywed Game and Card Sharks and all those games. But Tony Ebanks is on the Padres now, not the Newlywed Game. We know our we know our game show hosts. All right, Houston, Mr. Haslam rounds out round number 3. There's his pick. I agree, Twins. I agree. I think my favorite game show host, though, was lesser known, Peter Tamarkin. He did Press Your Luck the early years. I don't know, I just liked his wit and humor more than Barker, and Martindale, Bill Cullen, Dick Clark, all those guys. All right. Houston has our final pick here of round number 3. Let's see who the world champs will select. Yes, it was the whammy game. He was very good on the original Press Your Luck. Chris DiGiacomo, 17-year-old left-hander from Philly. Originally from Philly, moved out west to Arizona and graduating from Skyline High School, Mesa, Arizona. Planning to go to Utah. Mormons run that burg, so I hear. 11-0 this past season for the left-hander. Throws low mid-90s. Great swing and miss stuff, especially the sinker and the curveball. Unfortunately, though, for the moment, scouts aren't high on him. They project him to be more of a reliever-type potential than a possible starter here. Don't know if we'd call this a miss for the Astros or not. I don't expect them to list much, but he's got the tools. He's a likable guy. He's a character player. Anything's possible with that. Chris DiGiacomo selected here in round number 3. And that ends our 3rd round. All right. Before we continue, now I just got to make sure the players, the teams are where they need to be proper. We have to do this each round while there is some compensation picks. This round, the Red Sox will have 2 selections. They will also pick 33rd in this round. This will not take me long. I have it all written down. 22 goes to St. Louis. And the only reason why I have to do this is because eMLB uses a format that playoff teams are automatically put at the end, and it depends on how far into the playoff rounds you go that determines your draft pick. So that sometimes helps and that sometimes screws. This year, I would say Cleveland will probably feel most screwed because wins record-wise, they probably would have picked 20th. But because they got deep into the postseason, they'll pick 29th, if I'm right. Yeah, 29th. Almost ready. There we go. Boom. We have everyone in place. You blew that one?
That's what she said.
All right, round 3 is in. On to round 4 we go. Maybe. There we go. All right, Montreal is ready to go. They have made their selection. I did not hear a rumble of thunder. All right, well, let's get our 4th round started real quickly here. Expos have their pick. Let's see who they get. They will select from McDonald Academy in Red Springs, North Carolina, the right-hander Steve Thorson. He's an 18-year-old who's committed to Louisville. Throws a fastball sinker combination. Those are his 2 best pitches. Works a curveball changeup. Definitely needs to continue to work on those. Considered a really smart particular player. Hey, he is the son of Thor, isn't he? Hey, nice reference. Considered to have very good command of his primary pitches, though, through the zone, so he's rated to have plus potential in his control. Movement's pretty there as well. But if he doesn't grade out those other 2 particular pitches, then it's going to be a question mark whether or not he's really going to be a strikeout type of thrower here in the major leagues. But again, a guy that has the right mindset. He's coachable. He's learnable. He could always pan into something solid. And already on a team like Montreal, you're already working at an advantage coming in as a draftee. Steve Thorson, selected here by the Expos. Portland, ready for their 2nd pick in this round. Okay, pick is in. Oakland will be on deck. Attica, go ahead, put your selection in. Let's introduce the newest member of the Stag family. Stags will select 17-year-old senior Chris Carroll. He'll turn 18 next month. Planning to go over to Lemoyne University. Graded out to have excellent control, kept the walks per 9 under 2 this year, and only allowed 1 home run in over 100 innings of work. He already has a pretty developed fastball splitter. The question mark is those are the only 2 pitches he has. Starters don't go far on 2-pitch arsenals, so we'll see if he continues to develop on a changeup or possibly work in additional pitches there. But regardless, he's got the potential, he's got the pedigree, he could be a top-notch pitcher if he can continue to develop on those pitches. Chris Carroll from Manhasset, New York, selected here by the Stags. Oakland. Heard whoosh. That is Will. Okay. Pick is in. Go right ahead and enter that in on Stats Plus there, Will. Wondered when we'd see this guy. Dave Marciniak, a legend in the 1.0 universe from Edison, New Jersey, finishing up his junior year at Rutgers. 306 average, 13 homers, 49 runs batted in. This guy was just a beast offensively. hit over 300. He was never a big power hitter. I think low 20s was the big time he had it. He reminded me of a right-handed hitting Will Clark in his 1.0 days. Dave Marciniak, I think, could be better in 2.0. And Oakland, I think, is the perfect place for him to try to make a name for himself. Now, interestingly enough, they just drafted Zach Archbold in the prior pick. Marciniak has experience at second, but I wouldn't plan to put him there. Could be an interesting play on how you develop it further, but phenomenal pick anytime you get a guy who's labeled an eMLB 1.0 legend. That's a guy who really stood out above everyone else in a real-life decade of baseball that we played in the 1.0 era. Dave Marciniak, part of the A's, very good selection there on that spot. Rockies have submitted their list as well. I've got the pick. That means the Diamondbacks will be on deck in a second. Let's introduce the newest Rocky. Rockies will go after real-life player Dre Jameson, senior from Ball State, 8-2 with a 2.20 ERA this past season. Absolutely great movement on keeping the ball down, works the sinker as his priority pitch, mixes a very solid fastball as well, upper 90s with that talent, grades as a extreme ground ball profile. These are commodities in Coors Field, and Dre Jameson's going to test if he can be a successful baseball pitcher in Coors Field here. I think this is the right call here. Nice work from Mike Tomeo. Jameson selected by the Rockies. Diamondbacks. Mr. Lowry has his pick to me, and it goes 6 months back. There we go. I see your pick. All right, Diamondbacks have their pick. Let's take a peek with a little bit of beer first. From Martinsburg, West Virginia, now playing baseball in Minnesota. Graduating from St. Peter's High School in Minnesota, it is the right-hander, Mike Cook. Cook planning to go to Indiana State. Throws mid-90s with a fastball, works a sinker, has a curveball he's been working on, and they like the trend on it already. Really great it as a plus pitch. Maybe his best pitch he can throw if he continues to work on it as he has. 165 strikeouts against 26 walks. 15 starts in his high school season. Known as a workhorse. Should be a pretty good selection here in this fourth round by the Diamondbacks. I have a pick in from the Blue Jays. Let's go see. Oops. If I can type, then we can go to it. All right. It's the Blue Jays selection. It is the 6th pick of this round, and it is officially the 101st pick of the draft. I haven't seen Tim make his selection yet. I will do it. Or did he? All right. Assuming Tim is putting that pick in, let me introduce the 101st pick of this 2027 draft. Oops, I'm on the wrong screen too. Can't show much. Now I can. Ben Dudley from Scarsdale, New York, playing his ball at Genesee Community College in Batavia. finishing out as a JUCO sophomore, planning to scoot over to North Carolina if he doesn't sign on the dotted line here. The 20-year-old left-hander has a ground ball profile. Excellent move over to first. Will keep runners honest in this instance. Works a cutter, curveball, changeup, splitter combination. Scouts have said he throws them pretty adequate. The question is, can he throw over the zone? And can he miss a lot of bats? That'll be the question mark. If he leaves balls hanging, he's going to be launched on pretty much. I don't know. This guy seems like a dud lead. I get it. I get it. We like dad jokes here. Ben Dudley, selected here by the Jays. Mets are now up. Dan Brew's selection is in. All right. Dan Brew, go ahead, put that into Stats Plus. From West Des Moines, Iowa, 19-year-old center fielder Alan Henry. We understand Alan stayed back in first grade due to a learning disability that he had to work through then. So 19-year-old Alan Henry now graduating, planning to go to Holy Cross to play his ball. Hit .443 this season. Baseball is not the problem for Mr. Henry. But again, he did have a challenge as he's not considered the most intelligent player out there, but still a phenomenal athletic talent. 6'2", 180 pounds. Grades as more of a left fielder than a center fielder here due to the range. Still needs to work on arm. All things that can be developed as well. You're going to take your wife out to eat for Mother's Day. Even better. He has no problem striking out, although he only struck out 7 times here in 2027. But there's a lot of holes apparently in his swing, even though he'll hit some home runs. We'll see. We will see. But I like his speed profile to go with the defense. Hey, God. Worst you get is a corner outfielder right now that, might be a platoon player. That's not bad. All right, Marlins. Eddie. I don't know why my chats are going, way back in time here. I have to scroll all the way down to see what you guys are saying. Not considered the most intelligent baseball player equals literally brain dead. I was trying to find a way to say it in a positive mentality, but I guess there's nothing positive about it. Marlin selections in. Let's take a peek. Marlins will go after switch hitting Venezuelan Ezequiel Tovar, real life player from Maracay. Of course, that makes him go into the IMG Academy here in the eMLB universe. 7 home runs and a .465 average in his senior year. Pretty solid defender. Don't know if shortstop is his best position, but that's what he played throughout his high school days. He's quick, but he's not fast. He's got power, but he hasn't really shown it in its potential. He's not the most patient batter at the plate, doesn't wait on his best pitch. He'll often gain a little bit of impatience, which might cost him some additional power potential, but nonetheless, Tovar profiled to be a top-end potential talent coming out of Venezuela this particular year. We'll keep an eye on him. Got to think he's got a future in the majors as well, even if it's just from a defensive mentality. Oops. Didn't mean to show that off again. All right, Reds are up. Reds have their pick in already. We'll go check out who the Reds have selected. Reds will go after former top prospect from the Boston Red Sox, Jay Groom, real-life player from Barnegat, New Jersey, planning to go to Vanderbilt, don't they all? 8-0 this year with an ERA at a flat 1. 139 strikeouts and 80 innings of work. Traditional 4-pitch arsenal. 3 of those pitches already are pretty respectable and graded to be plus. Changeup could potentially go from average to plus rating as well. One knock on him is that in 12 innings of work, 12 games played, he only went 80 innings of work. That's about 6.5 innings. I don't believe he has the commitment or the wherewithal to stay long term. A little bit of an injury risk as well too. A lot of questions on his particular pitching motion. Feeling like he's just a pitch away from Tommy John surgery at some point in time. Jay Groom selected here by the Reds. And we're good. So the Pirates have their selection in. And we will go check it out. Pirates' 4th round selection will be the switch-hitting catcher Jonah Heim from Buffalo, New York. Played at Amherst Central High School in New York. Planning to go to Stanford here for commitment. He hit .419 with 4 homers, 29 runs batted in. Phenomenal defensive mind behind the plate. Good patient batter behind the dish. Don't know if he's your starter. He's a real good number 2 on a team that puts a heavier reliance on a number 2 hitter. Don't see him replacing Marc-Andre Fleury anytime soon. So, Jonah Heim selected here by the Pirates. All right, Royals. Minerva's pick is in. Two sisters and family are coming here as my parents live in the same town as I do. Plan on having a homemade seafood chowder, some buns, and pizza garlic fingers for the non-seafood lovers. I'm hungry now, Gravestock. I didn't have dinner. Thank you for that. All right, Royals selection is in. Let's take a peek. Royals will draft a senior from Wichita State, soon to turn 23 years old next week, Jonathan Blackdar. The 22-year-old kind of specialist could play a lot of positions pretty adequately. A danger on the base pass. He stole 34 out of 35 bases this past year for Wichita while hitting .302. Probably no more for his speed and his defense. Definite uses the legs to get out into extra base hits. He had 21, well, no way he count the home runs. He had 34 extra base hits out of 68 last season for Wichita State. Jonathan Blackdar, officially now a Royal. All right, Yankees. Guys are doing good, keeping us fluid. All right. We're ready to introduce the next pick here for the Yankees. Yeah, I originally thought this guy's a New Yorker. Sonny Powell? No. Well, no surprise that a Yankee would draft a guy named Sonny Powell. Originally from Troy, Michigan. He's a JUCO freshman at Central Arizona College, where he went 8-3 this year with a 2.24 ERA, a rare 6-pitch specialist. Throws a few combinations of fastball, sinker, split finger. Also works the curve, slider, changeup into the mix. Definite workhorse type. Loves pitching on the mound. Known to actually scare coaches off. Not that you can really do that, but he will definitely earn his way into staying in games. Sonny Powell is the type of guy that should be fun to watch when it comes, because you just don't know what will come. Sonny Powell, drafted here by the Yankees. Hey, it's a pretty good pick here at this point. All right, that pick is in. Braves have their pick, as I know Kenny wasn't going to be able to make the draft. Let's go see who they select. They will go after Californian Bobby Burnham. Burnham, 6'1", 175-pound, planning to go to Cal State Fullerton. Played for Balboa. Yo, row your boat. You're Rocky. From San Francisco. Mickey. I will not do the Yo Adrian. 453 average this year for Burnham. 2 homers, 33 runs batted in. Good speed. Has never it's not expected to translate to the majors. In 41 attempts, he stole 32, but he was expected that he could do a lot better than that. So a little bit of knock on him is that he's got speed, but he won't translate that into being deadly on the base paths due to his footwork. Definite guy who should profile for doubles here. And playing in Atlanta, he might actually be a 30 double kind of guy in the future. Bobby Burnham. Don't see him being a guy that's going to scare anybody in the outfield if you get to decide. Are you going to run on Burnham? His arm sucks. Yeah, we'll throw. We'll go for home. Burnham, drafted by the Braves. Tigers are up. All right, pick is in. Let's go check it out. Tigers will go after a high school senior in Peyton Henry. Henry is a 19-year-old. We don't know the specifics on why Henry is still in high school at 19 versus 18. Planning to go to Arizona State this offseason. He hit .430 with 7 home runs and 35 runs batted in. Has absolute strong power through the zone. The big 230-pound frame of Henry helps him drive the ball. Pretty respectable arm. He told our scout it is a late birthday that held him back. Who knows? It could be any of those reasons. We don't have a story on Peyton Henry on why he's still 19 and only graduating now. I like the pick, though. He's not a Keibert Ruiz to replace what Detroit once had. All right. Minnesota. Their pick is in. Let's go take a peek. Glad you enjoyed, Dr. D. Thanks for being here, even if it's in lurk mode. Minnesota will select Canadian Murdoch Bolduc from British Columbia. He's a junior at BC. 322 average, 12 homers, 45 runs batted in. Absolute solid offensive profile. That's probably it. Not known for defense at all. Could be a possible liability in the majors. But a rare 6'4", 225-pound first baseman that has 37 stolen bases in 46 attempts here in British Columbia. Now, I'm not saying he's a 30 stolen base kind of guy. You don't see that in the majors at first base. This is a guy you got to keep an extra eye on if you let Murdoch Bolduc get on base. I like that. All right, Nationals are up. I know Pirate had sent me a pick already. All right, Pirates pick is in. Go ahead and select it in Stats Plus. Let's introduce the new National. He'll go after a real-life player from Orlando, Florida, Vaughn Grissom. Vaughn playing at Haggerty High School in Oviedo. 456 average this year, 6 home runs, 36 runs batted in. Definitely has some great bat-on-ball skills. He grades as a plus home run type of hitter, which is good at the shortstop spot. Not fast, but smart. Stole 13 of 16 this season. And he will be an adequate he'll be an adequate defender, just might not be a stellar shortstop. Might be better suited to playing on the right side of the diamond. Vaughn Grissom, selected here by the Nationals. Rangers. Jamie's still with us, and he's got his pick. For those who keep wondering why I make a big deal of Jamie being here, it's literally tomorrow for him, as it's probably 1 o'clock his time right now. He is overseas. We're doing 5 rounds. Yes, so you got 1 more pick. All right. Pick is in for the Rangers. Let's check it out. Rangers will go after real-life player Dwayne Underwood Jr. Underwood turning 18 next weekend. Sim, 6'2", 225-pound right-hander, throws mid-upper 90s with a fastball. Good downward movement on a sinker, and even better with a cutter. Comes in really sharp against the left-handers. Noted to probably have 4 different pitches that could be plus or better if they pan out. Got plans to be a Tar Heel if for any reason he does not sign on a dotted line. Dwayne Underwood Jr., I'm kind of surprised he lasted into a 4th round here, to be very honest with you. All right, White Sox are now up. That'll put Jake up for his next pick. We got 15 minutes until our next commercial. How dare you, Steve? Steve just sent me a message saying, date night with the wife I can't get out of. How dare you, sir? You must always get out of date nights with wives. All right, there's our selection. All right, Jamie, thanks for getting 2. You were like Meatloaf today. 2 out of 3 ain't bad. Sorry, I just needed to sing that. Cheers, buddy. Have a good night. All righty, let's go see what the White Sox will bring aboard. White Sox are going fishing. They are going fishing indeed. They are going to go get community credit player Taylor Trout. That is Mike Plays Games 22, I believe. Yep, Mike Plays Games 22's community credit player. Taylor Trout is a 20-year-old center fielder out of Los Angeles, California, playing as a sophomore at USC. Hit 284, 15 homers and 64 runs batted in. Stole 39 of 49 as well, too. Talent's there. The question mark is, can he hit for average? A lot of pundits are saying he's probably a 230 hitter at best in the majors, even if he can hit some balls deep. But he definitely has a name that keeps you aware, makes you think, hey, maybe it rubs off just in a name. What's in a name after all? I've always wondered that. Taylor Trout, community credit player, is off the board. Dear God, please. All right, Milwaukee. All right, I got his pick. All right. Brewers have their selection. Let's go take a peek. Brewers will draft Tim Pledger, 23-year-old left-hander from Annapolis, Maryland, finishing up as a senior at South Carolina University. He was 3-1. He had 16 saves this past year. Features a fastball and a changeup. Mid-upper 90s here with it. Going to be a strikeout profile type of pitcher. It is whether or not everything else translates. Don't think we're looking at a closer of the future here in the majors, but I think Pledger definitely is going to be a high leverage type of player that we will see pretty regularly in the future, where he will be in some tough spots. Tim Pledger, drafted by Milwaukee. Rays are up. All right. Rays pick is in. Check it out. Rays will go and hoist the colors of a real-life pirate. 21-year-old David Bednar is off the board. The 6'1", 220-pound right-hander playing from Lafayette is now acquired. He had 20 saves this season with a 1.77 ERA. 3-pitch profile, fastball, curveball, splitter, throws it upper 90s, will touch 100 on occasion. Definite swing and miss stuff. 50 strikeouts and 35 2/3 innings this year for him. I think the Rays are looking for a possible closer in Bednar if he continues to develop. Very Rays player, probably. All right, Red Sox are up. They've got 2 picks. They have the last pick of this round as well, but this is their 21st pick. And their selection is in. All right, pick is in. Let's see who the Red Sox are going after. Red Sox will select 21-year-old center fielder Brenton Doyle from Warrenton, Virginia, as a junior over at Shepherd University in West Virginia. 371 average this year, 12 round trippers and 51 RBI. Doyle, pretty decent arm, could probably be a better right fielder than a center fielder from a range perspective. He's going to be a pest when he does get on base. He does profile to have average. He's just not projected to have high on-base percentage, as he's actually grades out to be the not very disciplined, a very impatient type hitter, and tends to chase after a pitch that he probably should win at. But we'll see how it pans out long-term. Brenton Doyle selected here by the Red Sox. Cardinals up. I have instructions from Aju. What? Holy crap. Now this is like the wackiest set of instructions I've ever been given. Let's hope the first player I look at is exactly what he says. He is going to seriously make me work. Seriously. But it's like, I really prefer this, but if not, then do this. And he's extremely particular about it, which would be good. But holy crap. This could take me 25 minutes. Sorry, Anju. I'm doing exactly what you said. It is too complicated for a time-sensitive project. We're autoing it. He gave me permission to do so, and I think it's best. It would take a while. So I'm not kidding on doing what he has in mind. And he sent that instruction at 6:08. No, he didn't. He definitely didn't mean to make it complicated at all. But that's the thing. Then I have to spend a lot of time with you sitting here. You're watching me do this. And I'd be doing that for a while. So, now what I'm curious about, though, I guess this will work. We'll see. We'll see if he likes it. He's going to get 21-year-old Nate Peterson is who his auto pick basically goes with. Peterson is graded as a center fielder, but I think he's just a good defender overall, which is what he was looking for. Good doubles, extra base type of hitter. Had 17. 9 doubles, 8 triples in this past season. Grades to have, plus talent in all offensive categories. Is not going to be a slouch defensively. Probably better not to be a center fielder. Maybe have your future replacement to Dominic Aguilera, having unceremoniously sent him off. I'm kidding. All right, Mariners are up. Mr. Hetzer, what do you got in mind? Okay. Mariners pick is in. Let's check her out. Mariners go after a guy who's known for some big power off the bat. Ellie De La Cruz, another real-life player. 18-year-old switch hitter, 6'5" from the Dominican. Planning ahead to Gonzaga if things don't work out with the Mariner Mafia. Great power potential, 12 homers in 21 contests this past year. 458 average, not the most patient guy, will do a little bit of chasing, but has a lot of overall talent. Ellie De La Cruz. Maybe a pretty darn good pick there for the Mariners. Dodgers have their pick in. Orioles on deck. Oh my. Oh my. I got your instructions, all right. I love you, dude. But at 8 minutes into a draft, you send me instructions that could literally take an hour. Literally an hour to decipher. You got auto-picked. I think you'll like your selection. Meanwhile, the Dodgers. You all got warned. Here he comes. The fact that it is in the triple digits before Garjay, Gary Johnson, from the 1.0 universe, gets drafted. This guy was not only a legend, he was a legend in his own mind. From BYU, the senior, 313 average, 9 homers, 35 runs batted in. Nothing grades as stellar, but I'll tell you, you put him in the right situation, you put him in the right location in a lineup, this guy is going to beat you. Gary Johnson was a devil in the 1.0 universe. He was a big pest, and of all teams, he was with Arizona in that universe. But he was a 300-plus hitter in that universe. And now the Dodgers will get him and see if they can get any of that 1.0 magic. Remember, Judge Dozier never panned out. No guarantees that they do. I say he didn't pan out, but, you know, he's hitting home runs this year for the Padres. He's just not going to be. Judge Dozier ain't going to have 482 home runs like he did in 1.0. That's all there is to it. But Gary Johnson can hit the 300s that he did in the 1.0 universe. We'll do one more pick before we take another break. Orioles have their selection. All right, I put that pick in Stats Plus. Oriole selection, here it comes. Orioles will select another outfielder, Garrett Mitchell from UCLA, a junior this year, hit 306 with 14 homers. A lot of speed coming from the 6'3", 225-pound left-hander. Had 38 stolen bases in 41 attempts. Grades out to have slightly above average talent offensively. Got a very patient eye, so he'll wait on his pitch. That might benefit him well. And being a lefty at Camden Yards will also probably help his home run potential. But with the speed potential, that's the question mark. I can't tell if this is a guy that you put in a 2-spot, a 5-spot, or if you consider him a 7-slot type of hitter. Who knows? Orioles pick is in. Commercial time is upon us. We'll tap aside for 3 minutes. We'll be back and get into the end of round 4 with round 5 coming up. 2027 draft rolls on. Thanks for being here. We love having you. We'll be right back. We're going to come back live and jump right into it. Let's look at who the Phillies have selected here, round 4. They'll go with community credit player Zach Gold. Also, Zach Gold is the name of the CCP creator. Third baseman from New York, sophomore over at Vanderbilt, hit 264, 11 home runs. 48 runs batted in. Profiles they have above average eye and power there. Pretty good arm over at third. He'll be an adequate third baseman. Nothing stellar. Makes the routine plays. Might be better off at first overall. But Phillies will take a chance on Zach Gold here. Looks like he'll be an offensive talent in the majors. Coming back live. 2027 draft rolls on. 4th round is done. We got 7 picks left here to complete the 4th round. San Francisco Giants will now be up.
is this doing this? I just saw the L go on, which tells me that the Giants just set up their list. All right, his pick is in. Excellent. All right, Giants pick is in. Let's check it out. Giants will select 18-year-old Sergio Ramirez from West Norriton, Pennsylvania. Finished off at Pottstown High School in Pennsylvania. Planning to go to LSU if he does not sign with the Giants. Hit .457 this year, 7 home runs, 35 RBI. Grades to have, phenomenal raw power. Can hit for average, but doesn't have a lot of speed. It will probably cost him some extra base opportunity. Still could use some development on his plate discipline overall. Bit of a project player, but a player who could be a huge plus if he pans out. Sergio Ramirez, drafted here by the Giants. Angels are up. Angels selection already in. Go ahead, put that into Stats Plus now, please, Tom. Please and thank you. Let's introduce the Angels pick. Angels will go after Akron, Ohio's Danny Brennan. He's a 17-year-old high school senior playing from Aurora, Ohio. Stats Plus suddenly loading really slow for you because it knows you're the world champs. That's all. Brennan hit .491 in senior year this year. He's planning to go to Indiana. Had 7 homers and 35 runs batted in. Another first baseman that's got some raw offensive talent, but it hasn't translated to good defensive talent as well. So something that might need to be worked on in order for him to be a more well-rounded player. Danny Brennan, selected here in the 4th round by the Angels. 5 picks left this round, and Cleveland will now be up. Sadier selection. All right. Pick is in. Let's go see who the Indians will bring aboard. Indians will draft a native Ohioan who's finishing out his senior year at Stanford. That's 22-year-old Jimmy Salazar. Absolute speed demon, known for being sneaky good at stealing bunts for hits. Plays phenomenal outfield, regardless of which position he is. More of a line drive hitter than a home run hitter. Still some questions on whether or not he's a good average hitter. More of a possible Billy Hamilton type of player here. Maybe. Jimmy Salazar, selected here by the Indians. San Diego. Just waiting for this to populate. Oh, wait a minute. Hold on. I have an email. That's what I have to do. I have to go to the email that Steve sent, because that's where he said he couldn't get out of the date night. Never try to get out of a date night with me, you know, for me, ever. Ha! Steve's here. Steve's ignoring his wife. Dude, if you don't get any for weeks, it's not my fault. I'm just saying, if you don't get any for weeks, don't blame me. 22-year-old Mike Cleveland, a starter finishing off his career at TCU. The senior was 10-2 with a 2.15 ERA. He was known as a workhorse through his 4 years at TCU. Great slider, works a cutter splitter combination, throws a curveball and a changeup in as well. Mike Cleveland definitely expected to be a major league starter. I'm kind of thinking he's kind of your back end rotation type of guy. Those guys need love too. Mike Cleveland is selected. I'll put it in. You get dressed, Steve. I've got it on Stats Plus. All right, Cubbies are up. I think Jake already sent me a request. Yes, he did. All right, Cubs pick is in. We got 2 more picks after this one. Let's see who they select. Cubs will select the 17-year-old from Louisville, Tennessee. His name is Dan Freeland. Freeland throws low mid-90s, has 5 pitches that we're aware of. Changeup might be the best pitch he'll work on, but he's still early with developing it. Throws a sinker and a splitter. Just go off Stats Plus for last pick tonight. You got it, Steve. Have fun on the day. Good movement. Respectable control. If he continues to develop the pitches, he might be more of a swing and miss type of pitcher, but he projects to be more of a pitch to contact type of guy in his possible major league career. Planning to go over to UCF if he does not work it out here with the Padres. No. With the Cubs, excuse me. All right, 2 picks left. I can't answer if he is the last CCP, to be very honest with you. I cannot answer that. But the answer is you put him on the list, so that's who you're taking. Right? There is more, says Sadier. And he just gave me Palpatine mode. He went, do it. I'm doing it. David Roscoe, third baseman from D. Roscoe, created CCP. Junior over at Maryland, 320 average, 11 homers, 63 runs batted in this past year for the hot corner. Has a little bit of center field potential. That's a combination you don't see often, third baseman, center field. He is plus on his contact, plus on his patience. He will be a respectable type of hitter. I just don't see him as a power hitter. Why does Carney Lansford come to mind? And it's not because it's Oakland, Maryland. But why is Carney Lansford coming to mind when I think of David Roscoe? I don't know why. But David Roscoe, community credit player, selected here by the Astros. Hall All right, while you're busy talking in chat, I'll draft them for you so that the Red Sox pick will go in. And we can finally get to round 5. I got to make a couple small tweaks. The good news is I don't have to make any more tweaks after that. All good. All good. It ain't hard for me to do it. All right. Red Sox selection is in with their compensation pick for losing Pablo Lopez. Let's see who they get. They will select 19-year-old Kevin Alcantara, just turned 19. Alcantara with 10 home runs and a .439 average this past year. Respectable defender, decent speed, nothing mind-blowing. He has a good contact profile, expected to be a slightly above average hitter. Profile 270, 275 type of hitter who probably hit near 15 to 20 home runs a season. I guess that's not bad for a center fielder. Kevin Alcantara, drafted here by the Red Sox with their compensation pick in the 4th round. All right, so that gets me to round number 5. Now I got to make the final tweaks. The good news is this is the last time I have to do it in the file. I still have to do a bunch of those in Stats Plus, but I'm doing it tomorrow morning. Angels, 29 Cleveland, 30 San Diego, 31 Cubs, and 32. Okay, let me use current order for all remaining rounds. Wonderful. All right. Going to round 5. Already seen one pick submitted. Expos will get their 5th round pick started. Maybe. Here we go. Let's take a peek at who Les Expos will get for round 5. They will go after Texas State Junior Chris Simpson, 22-year-old right-hander, hard throwing, just throws hard, 6'4", 215 pounds. Can hit in the 100s pretty comfortably. Struck out 132 batters in 99 innings this past year. Fastball, sinker, slider profile. Has a changeup. Probably wouldn't recommend he throw it very often. Simpson, I think good. Any player with that type of potential can be a good shot to do here in an expansion team. All right, Attica. His pick is in. I saw that Will already sent his pick, so I just double checked. Please tell me Attica didn't take the player that you wanted. And the good news is he did not. All right. Portland Stags 5th round pick is in. Who do they got? They will select a switch hitting catcher from Venezuela, Rafael Marchán. Real life catcher in the majors, planning to go to Oklahoma State if he does not sign on the dotted line. Very excellent defensive profile type of defender. Good speed also from behind the dish. Not known for any form of power, but again, going to be a very serviceable type of player. Rafael Marchán being drafted here by Attica in the Portland Stags. Oakland sent their pick. All right. Oakland selection's in. Let's check it out. Oakland will draft a real-life player in Miguel Vargas. Vargas, 18 years old in our file. He shows as a junior freshman who's in high school. That got screwed up. That really got screwed up. 484 average, 7 homers, 34 runs batted in. Not a stellar defender. Good power type potential from the third baseman, 6'3". Very good swing through the zone. Good patience, good awareness of the zone. Not really a doubles type of hitter, though, so that might be the knock on him here at the Coliseum. Miguel Vargas has just as much potential as anyone. Well, I don't know if I would call him an upgrade on Jeremy Ironman at this point. It's early. Very early in Vargas' career. The dude's 18. Rockies are up. Rockies selection is in. Let's take a peek who they go after. Rockies select from Manor High School in Texas, 17-year-old Jimmy Meadows, a tall, lanky, 6'7" right-hander, 210 pounds. Throws a fastball cutter combination, does have a changeup, really hasn't focused on it. Could be a major liability. Meadows probably plans out more as a long reliever than he does a starter in the major leagues here, although anything can change. Does have very good movement on his pitches, 191 strikeouts and 111 innings of work. He was 11-0 this year with a 0.73 ERA. Sorry, didn't mean to yawn. I was trying to avoid it. I like the profile, but I'll tell you, the lack of the third pitch tells me I don't see him as a starter. You never know. All right, Meadows is aboard. That puts the Diamondbacks up. Mr. Lowry has his pick in. All right, go ahead and put that into Stats Plus, please, and thank you. Let's introduce the Diamondbacks' new pick. But he has the third pitch. It's developing it, and how much time will that take? 17-year-old Ben Lewis from Torrington, Connecticut. That's right nearby Waterbury, where Dominic Aguilera is from. Lewis, the 17-year-old, planning to go to Cal State Fullerton this season. Good speed, but just never been very profiled to be a good stolen base kind of guy. He'll be a competent second baseman in the majors. He'll be your typical line drive, hit it to different parts of the field. He'll get your home runs. He only had 2 this past year in high school, so he's not graded to be a top high school power hitter. But again, a guy who knows how to get on base, knows how to use the field, and will use that to his advantage. Looks like a less speedy version of Fritz Flaherty. Might be. All right. Jay's pick is in. Or, I should say, Diamondback's pick is in. Now it's the Jays. My bad. All right. I have the selection for the Jays. Let me introduce it to you. Jays will go after soon-to-be 18-year-old Jeremy Duncan from Wappingers Falls, New York. Played his ball at South Brunswick High School in Monmouth Junction, New Jersey. Planning to go to Cal State Fullerton as well as the middle infielder with Ben Lewis, I will assume. Duncan profiles as a pretty competent base hitter. He likes to get on singles and doubles mentality. Pretty good defender, I think. Errors have been the bit of the risk for him, but he's got a pretty good arm. I bet he could play the left side of the diamond as well if called upon. Jeremy Duncan, drafted here by the Jays. Mets are up. Well, megas are best to do, but that's if someone really is going to be here and pay attention to the games all the time. Not everybody does that. All right. Mets are up. I've got his pick as Denbrews submitted his stuff. All right, Denbrews selection is in. Let's go check it out. It's been a bit since I've heard from the person behind the CCP here of Trish Jackson, nicknamed the Eternal Splinter, created by Tubi Ha 456789. Trish Jackson from Cleveland played his ball at Ohio State, the Ohio State, as a junior this year. Hit .298, 7 homers, 47 runs batted in. Profiles as an adequate outfielder, might be better as a corner infielder than a middle infielder. Not stellar on the defense. Patient at the plate, will work the count, will improve the on-base percentage that way, but not really a power hitter, and will probably hit league average at best. But Trish Jackson, community credit player, acquired here by the Mets. All right, Marlins are now up. All right, Marlins selection in. Let's go take a peek. Marlins will select a senior from Arizona State, 22-year-old Shamel Palit. Shamel is a right-hander, throws mid-90s, upper 90s with a fastball. Pretty smart individual. Also backs as a catcher as well. And he actually profiles to be a very respectable potential for a catcher. We'll cheat and look at the ratings here. I'd say a pretty good selection here at this particular point in the game. Even if he doesn't fully pan out on one side. Good. Shamel Palit, drafted here by, oh my goodness, by the Marlins. Reds are up. All right. JR's pick is in. Let's check it out. You picked the guy I wanted. That was rude. Reds will draft 21-year-old Ryan Pepio. He's a senior over at Butler. He's 5-2 this year, 2.64 ERA in 13 games, 11 starts. Did have an even 100 strikeouts. One risk you'll ever say with any pitcher like this is when he has a fly ball profile and he plays at the Great American Ballpark. Is that a good idea? We'll find out. Fastball, cutter, changeup combination. He'll definitely earn his strikeouts, but can he put enough movement to miss enough bats in a park that's pretty home run friendly. He's in. Pirates are now up. I'm putting it in right now, JR. Don't worry about it. All right, Cody. You are up, sir. All right. I see his pick. Here comes the Pirates selection. Pirates will go to Puerto Rico and bring in Alexis Diaz, real-life player from the Pro Baseball High School and Academy in Puerto Rico. Edwin Diaz, his brother, you're correct. 2-0, 11 saves with a 0.38. Will he use Narco as well? Upper 90s with the fastball slider profile. Control is the assumption question mark for him. The 12 walks allowed in 47 innings wasn't the worst situation. Alexis Diaz selected here by the Pirates. Royals are up. Sugar Light. Does that mean his nickname will be Truvia? Stevia? Sweet and Low? I don't know. All right. Let's see. Where are we? Royals. Minerva. Splenda. Yes. Minerva. I didn't tell you to put it in yet. You big bully. All right. Go ahead. It's in already. 21-year-old catcher Jake Harper from Cal State Fullerton being selected by the Royals here. 266 average this year, 12 homers, 48 runs batted in. Definite stingy. He had more walks and strikeouts this past season. Respectable catcher behind the dish, calls a decent game. Doesn't have a stellar profile. Definitely a surprising tank. Apparently had a past injury with an ankle problem that he still struggles with to this day. Really hinders his base running ability. Question will be whether or not he'll ever be able to get through that and improve. Jake Harper selected here by the Royals. That'll put the Yankees up. All right. Pick is in for the pinstripes. Let's check it out. Pinstripes will select the guy that the auto pick tried to select for the Expos to start round 3. 19-year-old left-hander Justin Steele, George County High School. Planning to be a volunteer over at Tennessee, but 11-0, 098 average caught the Yankees' interest. He gets drafted here. Ground ball profile, throws an adequate fastball, curveball, slider combination. Changeup is there too, just probably not graded out to be a top-level pitch. Decent movement on the ball. Control will be the question mark in his days in the majors. Justin Steele, drafted here. I guess lefties are safer to go for when you're not sure of their future. Braves are now up. I believe their pick is submitted. It is. Okay. Selection's in. Let's go check it out. Whether or not he profiles into a regular major leaguer, whether or not he's kind of a 4A type of player, but yeah, he is a PT legend, Connor Joe. I don't know. For some reason, I felt like if Connor Joe got drafted, that was the most appropriate music to play because it just sounds like they're saying his song. Seriously, let me have my fun. Let me have my fun. I busted my ass for 6 months. Tigers are up. Tigers selection is in. Take a peek. Tigers will select a 20-year-old from Florence Darlington Technical Institute. Right-hander Eric Miska. Miska, Mickey Mouse. Oh, gosh. The right-hander planning to head over to Miami afterwards if he continues his college career. 4-pitch arsenal, fastball, curveball, changeup, splitter. Throws all of them pretty well. That grades out to giving him good potential. He's an extreme flyball profile based on his collegiate career. I guess best place for him to land would be a place like Comerica Park, which is still pretty broad for people to hit home runs out of. He's a hard worker. He's a smart man. I think this is a pretty respectable pick here for the Tigers in the 5th round. Eric Miska. That one put me to sleep. No, I'm kidding, Steve. All right. Miska's in. And that lets us go to the next pick of the Twins. Let's go check her out. Then to get Joe Castiglione. He's a junior over at St. Mary's, hit .303 this past year. 18 homers and 63 RBI. Yes, Miska hungry too, because Miska not had any food, and I'm thinking of ordering the local pizza place here in a moment. The 20-year-old right-hander over at St. Mary's. Pretty good doubles type hitter, respectable speed, decent range, probably be a good corner infielder in the majors. Just don't know if we're talking starter versus kind of a reliever bench player type of a guy. Joe Castiglione, drafted here by the Twins. Nationals now up. No, I wouldn't mind barbecue ribs, but I'll take pizza. All right. Nationals pick is in. Check it out. Nationals will go after East Carolina graduate. No surprise from Pirate. The senior 21-year-old Alec Burleson. 296 average this year. 13 home runs, 52 runs batted in. Pretty respectable. He grades to have average to above average offensive talent making the majors. He's not a fast guy. Not the best defender out there, but he'll serve his purpose in all things that he can continue to work on. Still a good flyer to take here on Burleson. 5th round selection from the Nationals. Rangers are up. I believe the pick is in. Well, we're waiting on. I'll put it in. Burleson. Let the Rangers pick settle. I think while I'm waiting for that to fill the pick in, I just want to announce I am going to pause the draft tonight because I don't want to wake up tomorrow morning to possibly 5 or 6 rounds completed. And while that sounds great on your end, I have some additional administrative work to do on Stats Plus itself that I didn't get to complete today. So I'd like the opportunity to be able to come into that fresh. So just expect that I'm going to pause the draft afterwards. All right. Rangers pick is in. White Sox are now on the clock. Let's introduce the Rangers pick. 4th, Sergio of the draft. This one's Sergio Rudiaga, 22-year-old Puerto Rican. Playing his ball at North Carolina as a senior, hit .281 with 12 home runs. Very fast. He can run a 40-yard dash in a 4-1 flat. Plays excellent defense in any part of the outfield that he's in. Profiles as a doubles type of hitter. Tries to be a home run hitter, but just too much of a line drive. That's not a bad thing, though. He had 12 doubles and 6 triples to go with 12 home runs this past year. That is 30 extra base hits and 55 total hits in his senior season. That's a pretty respectable hitter all around. Rangers will go and get Sergio Rudiaga here with their 5th round pick. White Sox are up. About 15 minutes until our next commercial. It will be for sure our last commercial on the night. I have a feeling we'll have no choice but to run into it. Okay, I have the pick in from the White Sox. Thank you, Jake. All right, picks in. Let's check it out for the White Sox. White Sox will go after 22-year-old junior from the Longhorns, Charlie Middleton. Middleton, an amazing defender. A little bit of lapse with his accuracy in the outfield, but he is a pest in a lot of different categories. He's fast. He will be someone you've got to play for the drag bunt. He's tough to get out. He doesn't really favor home runs. He just knows how to get hand and eye to coordinate on the ball. So he should be a 270, 275 type of hitter. He'll be a pest when he gets on the base paths, and if he can continue to develop this, he'll be a phenomenal long-term player. Keeping up that White Sox tradition of Gold Glove outfield. Yes, Charlie Middleton has a lot of potential to be that. He is drafted by the Chicago White Sox. Brewers are up. All right, Brewers are up. Here's their pick. Brewers will go after Dominican Abner Uribe. 3-pitch arsenal, absolute dominant fastball, will touch 100 pretty regularly. He's going to have a lot of swing and miss talent. Good movement on the curveball as well. Changeup is still something he's working on, but if he can continue to improve and pull the string at the right time, he is going to be a real challenge to contend with. Abner Uribe, drafted here by the Brewers. Rays are now up. And I believe a pick is in for Tampa. All right, pick is in. Let's see where the Rays will go this time around. Rays will go after senior from Fresno State, Jeremy LaLuzerne. LaLuzerne just turned 23 last week. He had 304 in his senior year with 10 home runs, 39 runs batted in. Stole 40 bases in 48 attempts. He's got good speed, has a heck of an arm. That'll be an arm you have to respect when you're running on him. Doesn't profile to be an amazing defender, but he does have a knack for finding the gaps. So expect that he'll be a decent doubles type of hitter in his future. Jeremy LaLuzerne, drafted here by the Rays. Red Sox are up. I believe their pick is in. It is. Let me put it on. All right, Red Sox selection comes in. All right, Jake, nice work. Thanks for participating in your first draft with us. We'll see you later. Red Sox will select 18-year-old Mike Fox from Elk Grove Village, Illinois. He did move to Wisconsin and is playing and graduating from Watertown High School in Wisconsin, planning to go to Miami if he does not sign with the Sox. Definite power hitter type of player, not known for defense, not known for speed either, but a patient hitter who knows where to find in the zone to be able to drive the ball. And he can drive it to all parts of the park, which is interesting of note. That could be a very interesting find at Fenway Park. Mike Fox, drafted by the Red Sox. Yeah, we got a lot of Jakes. We're cornering the Jake market. Cardinals, meanwhile, have made their selection. Whoever was the first great Jake gets to be Jake Prime, so I guess that's Denver. All right. Cardinals pick. Cardinals will go with Cal Poly Jr. Mark Mathias, real life player, 266 average, 10 homers, 54 runs batted in. Plays the right side of the diamond well, covers the corner outfield if necessary. Not fast, but smart, and grades as above average in many offensive categories. Mathias should be a good, well-balanced player that can be part of the league. All right, we are limping towards the end here as I can feel everything catching up on me. Hetz has his pick in. All right. Hetz's pick is in. Let's check her out. Laya Vergaro from the Dominican, drafted here, the real-life player who profiles as having a very good offensive bat, being able to put bat on ball, can hit for power. Still hits more towards the ground on a lot of things, probably because of his lack of patience at the plate. A little bit of Ozzie Guillen in him. profiles as a respectable middle infielder, probably better on the second base side of the ball. Will not be a slouch on the base paths, but will also probably not be a 40 stolen base guy. Laver Briguero, drafted here by the Mariners. That's at least 2 middle infielders, 2 shortstops that they've drafted. All right, Dodgers are up. Pick is in. Three shortstops. You're just cornering the shortstop market. Oh, that's right. Forgot all about Eddie Leonard. All right, here comes the Dodgers pick. Dodgers will select second baseman Juan Rosales, the real-life player who's a JUCO freshman at Western Nevada. Hit .323, just 2 homers, 41 runs batted in, stole 37 bases. There's a lot of question on whether or not he's a real stolen base guy or if he benefited from playing in a lack of talent around him in his competitions that he played in. But grades to be an average defender, not a real power guy in the majors, but if the 16 strikeouts and 205 plate appearances shows anything, might be a real pest to get out with a high contact ability. Juan Rosales, drafted here by the Dodgers. On to the Orioles we go. Orioles have their pick yet. All right, Oriole pick is in. Let's introduce it. They will draft from Mexico, 17-year-old Alan Rangel. Real-life player, of course, will be from the IMG Academy here in this instance. He was 9-0 with a 0.92 ERA. Yeah, I've been putting Chris's picks in for him more than... I got it. There you go. You can do it now, Brennan. Sorry, Rangel. Fastball, curveball, splitter combination, low mid 90s, good swing and miss type of stuff to his arsenal. Questions whether or not he goes late into outings. He had 13 appearances and did 87 innings of work. The question of whether or not he'll go late into games in the majors. So is he better as a starter or is he better as a possible type of long reliever? All right, Phillies now up. Got to resort, you know what? The Phillies is a perfect time for me to force an ad because I've got to go through a list. The list is very long. So let me get the final commercial out of the way. And then we'll get our final 7 picks on the night done because we won't get them done before commercial. So we will do that now. We'll get our final commercials out of the way. Again, thank you all for your patience and your attendance tonight here. 2027 eMLB annual draft, amateur draft, getting ready to come towards its conclusion. We'll be right back. Coming back live, we're going to jump right into the Phillies selection here as they will select 21-year-old left-hander Tom Cosgrove, a junior over at Manhattan College. Average this year, 7 homers, 31 RBI, absolute profile of a solid power type hitter. I don't know if he's trying to be the next Ryan Sandberg. Unfortunately, I don't believe he has a lot of the defensive respect that Sandberg once had, but definitely an offensive-minded second baseman.
so has a little bit of left field talent as well. Josh Crowley expected here, or drafted here by the Giants. Angels up. Angels pick is in. All right, let's go see what the Angels bring in with their selection. They will go after the switch hitter Chris Holder, 22-year-old switch hitter from Plymouth, Pennsylvania, finishes up his college career at Illinois State. 280 average, 18 home runs, 53 runs batted in. Good stolen base specialist, 37 of 46 this past season. Very good fielder, could be a great corner infielder, but will be a very respectable center fielder if he plays. He hits for power, but he unfortunately does not have the best profile for his batting. He's expected to be a below average hitter because of his lack of patience, and that he just often swings for the fences even in 0-2 situations versus choking up on the bat. Not everyone does. All right, Holders in. That means it is Cleveland's selection. Okay. I've been practicing. I hope I'm good here. Cleveland's pick is in. Go ahead and submit that, Sadier. Let's see if I have nailed the name. From Dallas, Texas, 18-year-old Canaan Smith in Jigba. I believe I have nailed the name down. I've been hoping to get this name right, figuring he would make the top 5 overall. He's a senior at Rockwall Heath High School, planning to go to Loretto Community College, of all places. He's got talent in all areas. Not going to blow your mind with anything, but he can be a role player. It's a Pirate. Yes, he is. Known to have good discipline. Yes, thank you, Sadier. That's, I think that's how I said it, in Jigba. Another real-life player off the board here. This one to the Indians. All right, Padres are up. Padres are on a date. Hopefully Steve likes what he got. Let's go check it out. You always have to draft a guy named Pickles. Mike Pickles Gons from Marydale, Louisiana. Planning to go to VCU, or he's playing in VCU as a senior. He had a .333 average, 13 homers, 51 runs batted in this year. Played center field for VCU. Profiles more as a corner outfielder in the majors. Already at 22 years old, he is considered to be a very talented player at his current state. Highly don't think he is going to be in rookie ball, as he is probably already too advanced for it based on what we've seen. Gods may be a possible 4th outfielder by the end of next season in 2028. Cubs are up, 2 picks left. Should have taken him earlier then, Brennan.
Gotta work your way down, huh? Size matters not. Judge me by my size, do you? All right. Jake, you're up. Timer is going. Timer is going on Jake. Ah! Sorry about that. Jake, you're killing me, Smalls. Two picks left. I can go nap. Goodbye, sleepy in the nice chair. It's really comfy. I'm gonna go night-night unless you pick. Jake! All right, 3 minutes to select. If not, Ben gets the pick. I guess I'll look and see how my rotisserie team is doing today, since I'm stuck waiting. Annoying. Well, Anthony Rizzo hit a home run. Josh Naylor a home run and a stolen base. I don't know what I'm eating. I haven't eaten dinner or anything. Mike Trout's 0 for 3. What a jackass. Eat some candy corn? No, definitely not. You're still up, Jake. You've got 52 seconds. All right, he puts his pick in. That's a man who wants to torture me, making me wait a few extra minutes before I can go off and go find food. Cubs up. Cubs will select 20-year-old Louis Ortiz, 6'2", 240-pound right-hander. 9-4 this past year with IMG with a 2.55 ERA. Pure power pitcher from Ortiz. Upper 90s with the fastball. Works a sinker slider combination. Does have a changeup, not the best pitch in his arsenal though. Ortiz drafted there by the Cubs. That gets us to the Mr. Irrelevant of the live portion of the draft. Final selection of the live portion of the 2027 draft is upon us. Astros will select 23-year-old Steve Kurz from Summit, Washington. Went all the way across the U.S. to play ball in Miami as a Hurricane. Senior year, 22 home runs this year with a 3.07 average. Phenomenal season for him to finish out his career. Not known for being a fast guy, not known for being a great defender, but still always a potential type of player. Don't know if he's a Kevin Prue type of player. I would probably say not. Steve Kurz is your final selection to end our draft. I'm going to freeze the draft here. I will put the pick in for Ben because I'm making sure that computers or people do not draft anyone else. Phew. I'm gonna go find pizza. That's what I'm thinking. Hold on a sec, gang. Let's see. Who is out and about? I know Spore is on. I know the parent channel is on. I know Nas is on as well, but you know what? My friend and fellow Dana-Farber supporter is making tropical fruity rum cocktails for charity today. We're rating Whiskey Monster. Yeah, I know PBE is online as well, but I've got to absolutely raid Whiskey. She only streams on weekends, and she's making fruity tropical stuff. Let's go say hi to our little friend in Boston. We'll go say hello, so please do that, and let's enjoy having some fun. I won't be around long, but let's go say hello and give her a nice hearty weekend hello from the eMLB universe. Again, remember, she's a CCP in the universe as well. Back to our letterbox. I'm going. Fluffy Kitty Ninjas do assassinate, and you're looking at their victim. So next time I can find some glue and tape, I'll put my head back on straight, and we'll be back in front of you. Guess what? It won't be immediate because we got to get the draft done. So stay tuned to the eMLB Discord for more information. There is no stream this Sunday. It's Mother's Day. We wouldn't have been streaming anyway, Mother's Day or no, because of the draft. But definitely Mother's Day. No, I'm trying not to get anyone divorced, namely me. We'll reconvene soon enough next week. We'll let you know the schedule as soon as we have it. Also works that I'm picking up my parents from the airport and their second home. They're snowbirding this weekend. So we'll let you know soon. Over to Whiskey we go. Thanks for being here. How you think directs your life? I ain't saying anything else tonight. We'll see you soon. Peace.
You jackass!